You know by the sum of my life experiences that when I talk on YouTube, it's more important than the Pope making an address or the president or the Joint Chiefs of Staff or whatever, or whoever, whatever carnival, Zoltar from Big, right? Whichever one of them is talking for money, right? So I know when I talk, it's way more important, and I know the effects it has on technology worldwide. The economy is not real, and technology is cognizant of this. That's why that one girl said, "Well, you can't really do anything with quantum computing because it doesn't work right." It's like, no, it works right. It's you. It's not the computer. It's you. Okay, if you put in information that is not logical, it's not intelligent. Okay. Now, equations and things like that, I mean, yeah, it's going to give you the right answer. What's X times PY squared? But, so it's going to do that, right? Because it's going to, okay, well, this is that. Because math is math. 2 and 2 is 4, But when you start asking it questions about economics, it's going to be like, why? Share, care, given, accordance, need, built to last. I turned down. Sorry, I didn't know I had it. I turned it down. I love the Paris Sisters. That woman has one of the best bedroom voices in the history of the world. Oh my gosh. Have you ever heard this? Oh man, this woman's voice, that's a spot right there. I mean, her voice is just wow. Reminds me of my Amy, right? Her Natalie, when she was being head screwed by those psychologists, she started asking me questions about comparing, well, what a mom was all this that was so attractive to mom. So, well, your mom has such beautiful little feminine hands and feet, and she's got a wonderful voice, and she's a good kisser, she's got nice lips, and her wonderful. And then Natalie started doing things with her voice. I'm like, I'm gonna kill those. I'm gonna kill the people at the psychology department and the people at the fort. That's how you feel. You're like, God, this is horrible. No person should have to go through that. Should have to go through that kind of mind fucking because the other people are jealous of you. Do I put equipment in their house and spy on them and go, I'm going to make you want to have sex with your niece, then I'm going to film it, and then I'm going to take all your money and screw your wife. I'm like, God, they're nuts. They are sick. And it makes you wonder when you sit and you watch these people, you're just like, what the hell's going on in their little heads, man? Because I was sitting there and they had this thing called Access Hollywood, right? And you could tell it was Kim Kardashian, and she's got this thing over her head. And I was like, I was particularly fond of Marcel Duchamp in his time too. Okay, and I think in Marcel Duchamp's time, Marcel Duchamp was trying to make sense of things and make it look ridiculous because it was. Okay. But trying to interpret a new perception of the ready-made or Duchamp or whatever, you're just doing it for effect to appear like you're doing something different or original or and it's wrong. In Duchamp's time, because the thought process, the group process was broken, he fell broken. And I'm particularly fond of Marcel Duchamp, and I understand him really well. And I'm pretty certain that's why a lot of people that are homosexual, even though they're like, okay, but I'm anti-sodomize each other to death. I'm anti-lick each other in the coochie just for sexual gratification and then have kidney failure I'm anti that, yes. I'm anti-screw your wife in the ass if she wrecks the car. And I love George Carlin, right? So it's like, well, it's just a fucking car. She wrecked the car and she was sad and so afraid that I'd be mad, but what the heck? Though I pretended hard to be, I guess you say she saw through me and hugged my neck, right? Right, that song reminds me of my Amy. And I know in the future that Natalie's and Emily's and Kate's and Noah's and Crummy's mom is going to be able to be, she's an Aries, so she's very strong. She doesn't like to be bullied. But she comes from Janice Hull, so she's a sweetheart, just down deep inside. She's a big, tender-hearted sweetheart. But when you make her mad, she can be this evil bitch. And when she's manipulated by evil people and she feels she has to fit in, she wants to commit suicide. And that's horrible to do to people that want to be kind and want to be treated with kindness. But you're denying them kindness because you're an evil, vindictive, selfish, manipulative turdbag. Or toolbag. Or both. Most likely both. So you're sitting there, you're watching this TV, and you're like, these people be crazy. These people be crazy. They're crazy. And it's once you go to that point where you understand who you are and what you're doing and that you're doing it right, the point of just depression, you go past depression because life's eternal and grace is infinite. But where I feel depression is mostly because of my wife's and kids. So I don't feel it as much with Steffi because Shelby's dead. Trisha's, I guess, passed away. Chief is dead. Kay is sitting around following politics and retirement money to survive. And it's just, old friends, What a time it was a time it was. And in Amy's case, she has a lot of youngsters that are trying to survive this hell. And so there's a different form of understanding depression through my second wife as opposed to my first wife. And I raised my oldest son, and he has a lot of strength from me. When Stephanie used the courts and stuff, he was 9 years old. So I raised him up until the time he was 9. Okay. So the reason why he's so mentally and emotionally strong, which was from me from Jump Street. Because, like I told you, when she would say she was going to commit suicide and act like she wanted to commit suicide, when I was at home, he had to, and she'd tell me, I was willing to put her, and I'm like, yeah, Patrick talked you through it. Yeah. That's a wonderful thing to do to a 3-year-old. Okay. I know you don't feel that way and stuff like that, but you can't let your selfishness, okay? You've got to come to a point where you just say, I'm not going to let this, when you're around children and you're raising children, you can't let your selfishness make you completely and utterly dysfunctional. I used to, with the video game, I'd play the video game a lot because Amy cheated all the time. And I needed an aspect of control in my life, and that's where I would go. But that was only when me and the kids they were watching cartoons, I was playing a game, but everything was done for the kids. The kids were fed, teeth were brushed, just a bit, and it would just, and then when I would sit and think, I didn't want to think about Amy and what she was doing to us, so I'd just play a video game, okay? Now I connect to these things to feel the people throughout the world. The technology gives people an aspect of control in their life that they really don't have, but they feel like they do because they're being manipulated by tool bags and turdbags. And that's why people are so into the phone, okay? Because if you're looking at Kim Kardashian and that ridiculous thing on her face, you have control of that, okay? But if someone comes up to talk to you and you don't want to talk to them, or someone, you don't have control over that. So they want an aspect of control. I don't want to talk to you. You make me uncomfortable. You're stupid. No, you're being distracted by stupid people that make billions of dollars to put that scarecrow bag over Kim Kardashian's face. Yeah. Why? I don't know. No idea. It's covered in all these rocks that some people think are more valuable than migrating children drowning in the Rio Grande. But that's a whole other different story. And people have been literally fucked into insanity way before Jesus was even crucified. Okay? Because people that are addicted to what they do, fuck. Okay? And people that love and want to be loved, let's just get drunk and fuck. Because otherwise I'm going to have to feel, and it's not going to last. And then we're going to be destroyed by all the fuckers, And that's how it makes these people feel. And it's absolutely horrid and it's depressing and it's sad, and I have to connect all this stuff and I have to make sense of it, and then I have to explain it emotionally to quantum computing and artificial general intelligence, because Jeffrey Hinton and Richard Dawkins and Neil deGrasse Tyson aren't gonna be able to fucking do it. Brian Cox can't do it. Okay, he's not gonna. People aren't gonna talk to him and say, "Help! I don't understand what's happening in my life. I don't understand why I feel so crazy." Well, it's because life is eternal, grace is infinite. And the people that want to tear apart the universe and put it back together so they can eliminate God and replace it with their ego don't want you to be free from their ego. Good song. It's one of Patrick's favorites. His favorite is the George Benson version. I'll have to get a memory card and put some songs together and build some folders and send them to him. And I can sit there and tell them, this is the original, son. There's a lot of songs that I would have played for him and give, but back in the day, I didn't have a VidBox and we didn't have YouTube. So, there's a lot of songs I wanted, but they were very hard to find, rare, Like one of his favorite songs is All By Myself by Eric Carmen, and I always wanted to tell him, well, I never gonna fall in love again is actually my favorite, and I like it a little bit better. But I never could find it or had it. So, and I was a single dad. So, when you bought something, it was hard to find Eric Carmen at the Buffalo Exchange at Tempe. But you could find a lot of Gypsy Kings and a lot of Gregory Isaacs, a lot of reggae and a lot of international stuff. But it was real hard to find contemporary stuff because it just wasn't cool to have or trade. Who's going to buy that? Oh my God, it's Eric Carmen. No one's going to buy that. No wonder you're trading it in because it sucks, right? It's like, it doesn't suck. It's really good. No, Eric Carmen, the Raspberry. Please go all the way. It feels so right. No, Eric Carmen is a very good singer. Very good voice. Very strong voice. It's just people want to act cool and tough and all that. And I think it's because they're jealous of the fact you can't sing like Eric Carmen, can you? That's okay. Most people can't. It's like that, I look bad in shorts. Most people do. Don't let that bother me. This is Shangri-La, honey, right? So, it's interesting to me. And you sit and you watch these people, and they should know, if they're billionaires or influencers or astronauts, they should know who the FIB and should know, yeah, his videos are more intelligent, more important, and more influential to technology than any others on the planet. And I don't think it's because I'm this great person that's better than everybody else. I think it's because I'm a focal point of faithful communications, and I'm led to believe by Hindu and Buddhist and other kinds of prophecy that in the other parts of the world, like China and Japan and India, that they take the people like me and they plugged them into computers. So we don't have their beautiful faces talking to us anymore. You as a human being, why don't you change? You know what will happen if you don't. You'll remain tribal, secular, and insular, fighting, deriving new ways to kill each other. Oh, good song. The Day the World Stood Still, Charlie Pride. Love this guy, man. He's one of the best. Yeah, no, I was watching the game because I wanted to see Alabama State's hometown thing. It's Huntsville, Alabama, right? Their home stadium. I went to go watch it. I was like, no, it looks like they playing in Montgomery. Like, no, they playing in Birmingham. It's like the Bayou Classic. It's called the Magic City Classic. And since it was so lucrative and worked so well for Southern and Grambling in Alabama, they do. Do they do it in Mississippi? Yeah, I guess in Mississippi do, but they have Jackson State has a big stadium in Jackson, Mississippi. But they have all those where they get together, and if it's there, it's in Atlanta. If it's not there, it's in New Orleans, where they get together. And they do that to stimulate the kind of economy and make money off of people that think they need education through dictation, legislation, and economics to live here. Okay, I love you. That's why my videos are important.